Right now at 11, we're following breaking news from the Middle East as Iran state media confirms their supreme leader is dead in joint U.S. Israeli airstrikes and warning it will respond with more strikes of its own. New video recorded inside Iran captures the moments of celebration as news reports spread of the supreme leader's death. But while they celebrate, protesters march, including right here in Baltimore, concerned about what could come next. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Bryant Reed. We're following fast-moving developments across the Middle East and concerns that the strikes could lead to a larger regional conflict. Those strikes took aim at the Iranian capital city of Tehran and several other targets all across the country. Iran has retaliated, firing its own missiles capable of striking more than 1,200 miles. President Trump has said Iran has continued to develop its nuclear program, saying that country was a threat to America and national interests. He's also called on the people of Iran to overthrow the government, saying it could be their best opportunity for decades to come. But in Washington, members of Congress, including Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, say the strikes are illegal and want votes to stop the operations. WJZ has live team coverage tonight. Kaicey Baylor is on your corner in Baltimore City, where demonstrations rallied in opposition to those strikes on Iran. But we begin tonight with Willie Inman reporting from President Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in South Florida.
The airstrikes on Iran launched by the U.S. and Israel began Saturday morning. The Israeli military shared these images, what they say show some of the strikes. The airstrikes come after weeks of escalating tensions between Iran and the U.S., with President Trump repeatedly warning Iran to put an end to its nuclear program.
We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated.
President Trump confirmed the death of Iran's supreme leader, calling him one of the most evil people in history, adding that this is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans. Iran was swift to retaliate, launching missiles against U.S. allies in the region, including Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. President Trump warned there could be U.S. casualties as Iran targets U.S. military forces in the region.
The Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war.
Well, a group of leading U.S. lawmakers known as the Gang of Eight were notified by Secretary of State Marco Rubio about the attack. Some Democratic lawmakers are expressing concern that the strikes were launched without congressional approval. In the U.S., New Yorkers expressed unease over the news of the airstrikes.
I'm instinctively worried whenever, the United States, our country starts bombing people, but sometimes it works fine and sometimes it doesn't.
I'm horrified. There's no grounds for it.
The New York Police Department says it is boosting security around sensitive sites, including religious and diplomatic institutions. Willie Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
In Los Angeles and Boston and other cities, news of the strikes and death of the Ayatollah sparked celebrations from Iranian Americans opposed to the regime in Iran. Many of those demonstrators, Iranian Americans whose families fled for America after the Islamic Revolution. Meanwhile, here in Maryland, we're hearing reaction from state and local leaders as well as the people. Our Kaicey Baylor is live on your corner in Baltimore City tonight. Kaicey, you were actually there as demonstrators marched against these strikes. So what did they tell you their messages?
Bryant, protesters say the U.S. should not be in Iran nor should be engaging in any war. At least 2 protests took place today in Baltimore City, both with similar messages calling for peace.
The U.S. should not be anywhere over there.
Some Baltimoreans enraged after the U.S. and Israel carried out a military strike on Iran.
We're escalating the step towards war in the Middle East.
At McKeldin Square and outside Baltimore City Hall, organizations held demonstrations Saturday condemning the act.
They are violating international law. They are violating their sovereignty. and that's what we're out here to stand against.
Iran has retaliated with strikes on Israel. Some protesters fear things will get worse, impacting U.S. troops.
In the Gulf, Iran could shut down the Straits of Hormuz and the ships could not get out. And there's troops on the ground.
And they say the U.S. government should be focused on investing in people's needs.
We don't support our tax-paying money going into this war.
And our own people here are left in purpose food desert where education and literacy is low.
Elected officials in Maryland weighed in on the move. Some congressional leaders call it a violation of the Constitution, saying President Trump did not seek approval from Congress.
It goes back to the president not articulating why the strikes are necessary. How is this in the best interest of the American people?
Meanwhile, Congressman Andy Harris wrote in a statement, quote, "The world is a better place with Iran's supreme leader, who was also the world's leading sponsor of terrorism, dead. President Trump's leadership and the brave men and women of our armed forces have helped rid the world of evil."
And those who attended these demonstrations say that this is just another attempt from the Trump administration to take control of the region and its resources. Meanwhile, President Trump says this is part of the objective to maintain peace throughout the Middle East. Reporting live on your corner in Baltimore City, I'm Kaicey Baylor for WJZ.
Kaicey, thank you. Reaction from lawmakers has been split along party lines. While Republican Andy Harris supports the strikes, Governor Wes Moore says he has some serious concerns, saying in part, quote, "I served in uniform in Afghanistan. I have seen who pays the price when Washington rushes into conflict without clear objectives, a defined strategy, and an honest explanation to the American people, young, middle, and working class Americans who are put in harm's way." And goes on to say, "We can stand with the Iranian people who support the cause of democracy and freedom without risking another conflict that sends another generation of American troops into combat."